want to take a moment to talk about energy because you're going to notice more and more and more that you almost feel like you don't have a choice but to leave certain people behind because they're simply not getting it. Okay, so when you're on a lower level of energy, it's another way of saying that you're not aware of yourself, which means that you are not aware as to how you affect other people negatively. You don't take accountability when you mess up. You're not always honest with people. You avoid people. You're not really authentic. You're people pleasing, all these things. When you're in a lower level of energy, it's more chaotic, right? It's messy. That's why you'll see people who are just interrupting each other the whole time. They're out for coffee, but they're not even listening to each other. They're just talking over each other, thinking that they're having a good time. It's kind of like being caught in a traffic jam and everyone's honking their horns. It's very loud, it's very noisy. As you start to move up into the higher levels of awareness, people who live in that space are a lot more peaceful. They like quiet. They're honest. They live with integrity. They don't like to lie. They've probably lied like we all have, but then they feel dirty inside and they have to right the wrongs, or they do have to take accountability when they hurt someone because they're always striving to do better. So you can almost imagine that like the lower level is chaotic. It's like everyone talking over each other, lying to each other, not being honest with each other, people pleasing each other because they simply don't know who they are. They're not self-aware. In the higher levels, people are self-aware and they know what they're doing that's still hurting them, and they're working on undoing that. They're working on letting go of their people pleasing. So they're always striving to do better. What you're going to find for your own life, okay, is that you're going to have to leave some people behind, because when you have like a cleaner energy about you, when you're in that higher level of awareness, it doesn't matter what you do, because they're unaware of themselves. They're going to keep hurting you. They're going to keep violating your boundaries. And you simply won't be able to associate with that anymore, because you begin to understand they need to be around a different kind of person, someone more like them. That's why you attract usually what you are. So they need to be around people who are more like them so that they can start noticing at some point that, talking bad about people is wrong or interrupting people is wrong. So if they're hanging out with you, you're not getting anything in return. It's not mutual. So at some point you're going to have to let them go. Also because the energy that you're in is simply not compatible with their energy. You've already graduated from that class. If you're living peacefully, why would you go back into chaos, right? So you just get to a place where you can't be around it because it's like water and oil, they don't go together. And you have to accept that. Now, if you have someone in your life who is not as aware of you, but they're always trying to do better, then you'll be friends with people like that. It doesn't matter which level they're on at that point, because they're always trying to do better. But you're going to have to let go of a lot of people in the coming years. That's just how it is.